Have you ever had that sinking feeling that your job might not be as secure as you thought? Maybe you've noticed some changes in how your boss is interacting with you, or maybe you've heard some whispers recently about layoffs. Sometimes it can catch us off guard, but most often people don't lose their job completely out of the blue. There are almost always some warning signs. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 4 signs that your job could be at risk, and most importantly, what to do about that before it's too late. I'll give you my thoughts on how to approach each of these individually. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some general tips and how you might prepare and walk through these scenarios with your best in mind. So if you've been wondering whether or not that knot in your stomach is unwarranted, or if it's a real sign of trouble at work, stick around. Welcome back to Career IQ, where I help job seekers and professionals take control of their careers. If you're new here, my name is Doug, and I've helped thousands of people land jobs, navigate layoffs, and build careers they love. Be sure to check out the link in the description where you're going to find out how you can get a copy of my Fast Track Job Search Bootcamp and a free 7-day job search Kickstart as my gift from me to you. All right, let's dive into our 4 signs. Sign number 1, you are put on the infamous performance improvement plan, or a PIP. If your manager sits you down and says you're being placed on a PIP, that's not a casual note saying, hey, we really want you to do better. It's a formal HR process. And this should be a clear alert to you that things are not going well, and quite honestly, they could turn south very quickly. Yes, sometimes it's genuine and they really want to give you a structured support and a chance to succeed. But very often they've already made a decision to let you go, and the company is now documenting performance so they can legally and cleanly let you go, sometimes regardless of whether your performance improves or not. Think of it this way. When a company puts you on a PIP, they're basically starting the countdown clock. And the truth is, the majority of employees that are put on a PIP don't make it long-term at that company. Some sources would suggest that only about 10 to 25% survive a PIP. What should you do? First, although it can be a natural response, try not to panic. Some people actually successfully turn a PIP around, but you need to act immediately. Clarify expectations with your manager in writing. Ask them what success specifically looks like and get some examples. Over communicate your progress and keep weekly updates coming so you can show that you're taking this seriously. Though there is a possibility that you can make it through the PIP and remain at that company, keep in mind trust has been broken and you're already on a list. So stability is highly questionable. The next time there are layoffs, guess who might be on that list? So even while you're working through your PIP, it's smart to have your exit strategy ready and in process. We'll talk more about some general steps in a bit, but regarding your PIP, begin to log and make note of your results, your projects, and your positive feedback that you've had. Save and forward non-confidential emails such as successes and projects that you've worked on while you still can. So while you're on a PIP, don't just coast through this. You should take this as an urgent wake-up call. Sign 2. Here's a more subtle sign. You've noticed that your workload is shrinking and important responsibilities are being reassigned to others. Maybe you used to be a key leader on some projects and now you're only handling smaller, less critical tasks, or perhaps meetings that required your presence before, or conversations that you'd normally be a part of suddenly don't include you anymore. No doubt this can be confusing, and on one hand you might think, hey, less stress, less work, but in reality it can mean management is slowly moving you out on key functions, maybe testing how the team runs without you. It's also common in companies that are preparing for layoffs. They may start with redistributing some of your duties so that when you're gone, there's less disruption. What should you do? Don't ignore it. In a non-confrontational manner, ask your manager about the changes. Say, I've noticed that some of my responsibilities have shifted. Are there some changes that I should know about? While you're at it, Look for opportunities to add value elsewhere in the organization. Maybe volunteer for some projects or some cross functional work with other teams just to show that you're adaptable. But once again, consider this as a signal to update your job search materials and have your exit strategy ready. If your role is being diminished, your future with the company may be too. Sign number 3. Now let's zoom out to the bigger picture. Sometimes it's not at all about you, it's about the company. If your company is financially shaky, you might be at risk no matter how good your performance is. Some of the red flags might be you're hearing rumors about budget cuts or restructuring. Maybe hiring has slowed or frozen completely, or perks or even basic supplies are being cut back. And pay attention to your company if it's missing earnings targets or losing major clients. These can all be indicators that you should be watching. When a company's bottom line is suffering, layoffs are usually around the corner. Unfortunately, those decisions may impact you regardless of your performance. It's all about numbers. With this one, look beyond the internal gossip if you can, and pay attention to industry news about your organization. If the company is publicly traded, follow quarterly reports. If not, look for signs like sweeping erratic leadership changes or drastic shifts to try to rebrand and an effort to kind of retain some market share. And this suggestion can be a tough one, especially when everything seems so expensive, but do your best to get your finances in order. Pay off debt while you can. If you haven't already, start setting money aside for an emergency fund, preferably one that could carry you for several months. The better that you're positioned financially, the more that you're able to make wise decisions and not scramble. Before we cover the last one, while you're here, take a minute to drop a comment down below and tell me what kind of hurdles that you've encountered in your job. I'd love to hear from you. And sign number 4, this last one can be more personal, but it can often be the most telling. Watch how your manager interacts with you. If you notice a shift in their tone, or they're giving you less feedback, or feedback only in the form of writing, they're avoiding one-on-one meetings with you, or becoming unusually critical, it may be a sign that they've lost confidence in you, or they already know of a decision about you that's been made behind the scenes. Some managers even start distancing themselves emotionally from employees that they know are going to be let go. It's uncomfortable, but it does happen. Other times it can show up as suddenly increased micromanagement. If they're watching every move, double checking your work, or documenting every mistake, it could mean that they're building a case. So what to do? Try not to immediately jump to conclusions. Sometimes managers are just stressed. But if you notice a consistent pattern, take note. Schedule a candid convo and just say, hey, I've noticed some changes in the way that we're communicating. Is there anything that I should be doing differently? At the same time, don't ignore your instincts. If it feels like they're pulling away, take that as your cue to take control of your career options before they make a decision for you. Any one of these could be a warning sign, but if you're noticing 2 or more at the same time, that's when you should really pay attention. The key is to act proactively. Don't wait until the day that you're called into HR. By then, your options become limited. So in each of these circumstances, don't be apathetic, but start your job search quietly. Don't wait to become familiar with the job market in your space or industry. Know what opportunities are there and what skills that you might need to polish up on. Make sure that your resume is updated, refresh your LinkedIn, make sure that you're having conversations in your network and more in a quiet and confidential nature. The key here is don't wait to build relationships before you need them. Look at your skill set and begin to research what other careers or titles your skills may transfer to. Keep your options open. Losing your job or even worrying about it can be overwhelming, but remember, you're not powerless. If you spot the signs early and prepare, you can land on your feet and maybe even find a better opportunity. If you've found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want a step-by-step system to find a new job faster, check out my Fast Track Job Search Bootcamp. I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll also leave a link where you can get my 7-day job search Kickstart as a free gift to you. Thanks for watching, and remember, your career is in your hands.